So hello, beautiful people. I am super excited to be interviewing Ibukoluwa on today's episode of the How I Passed My IELTS Examinations. But this one has a twist to it because Ibukun did not write it for the first time. She had written twice, but now she has passed it once and for all at the third and final attempt. So I brought to this show to share with you who is a potential test taker. If you plan on writing the IELTS examination, I know that this show will give you the encouragement and demystify all the myth about IELTS. You actually can pass IELTS at first attempt, and you can pass it at your next attempt. Your next attempt can be the final attempt. So if you are welcome.
Thank you very much, Banke. I really appreciate it.
I'm so glad to have you. Thank you for accepting to be on this show.
You're welcome. Pleasure is mine.
How did it start for you? How did this whole IELTS preparation start for you?
Well, it started way back in August. So I've been preparing since August. I took my first attempt. That was in September. So I was kind of like, oh, it's IELTS. I can pass it. I write essays. So what's there? I went reluctantly. I didn't really prepare for the first one. And when I was aiming at getting 8 in listening and the rest at least 7. At least I wanted a band 8. So when I got the first results, it was shocking. Like my listening and reading was 6.5. I was not happy with myself. I felt I should have done better. Then I underestimated the power of like IELTS was just a normal test and stuff. So the second one, I was very busy. I couldn't read that much. So I actually got to know about Banke IELTS like maybe like 2 or 3 days before I wrote the second attempt. It was quite late, so I was reluctant on joining the link. A friend shared the link with me, so later on I joined the link, and she kind of said there was a first class, and I was happy that she actually started with listening and reading because that were the 2 major areas I needed to I knew I was lacking in that area, and I needed to hit my target in that. So she shared the hints on listening, writing in upper cases, make sure your spellings and everything. So I took those. I tried to do practice on my, do some exercise practice on my own, and I make sure that I was using the band scores she gave. I think I noticed the range of scores I was using during my previous practice were different. For the listening, I noticed there was a 39 to 40 for band 9. And I was always thinking band 9 was starting from 35. So that was one of the wrong assumptions I had. So I was able to correct myself on that. And I also told myself I was going to use upper cases all through in case my handwriting was not really readable for the examiner to see. And for the reading, I was having issues with the matching aid and stuff. And so we made mention of something during the reading class, knowing the main topic and the supporting topic. I was able to break down the large passage into the main topic, the supporting topics, and I knew the headings that were to match it. And I used the synonyms and trying to look for similar words that were used in the passage and trying to locate it in the questions. And with that, I was able to practice on my own. I make sure I paid more attention on the matching aid because I knew in my previous practice, these were the places I was really, really lacking. So when someone made mention of that during the group that, the areas we were actually having difficulties in reading, I was like, oh, this is the actually part I actually wanted her to pay attention to and stuff. So I went back to the classes we had online, the WhatsApp group and everything. I was able to go through it. I had a short time because as soon as I got my results, I immediately registered for another one. So I had 2 weeks to prepare for the next one. And I was also working. So the schedule was very busy for me and everything. When I went to the exam, or during the practice, I was also trying to time myself to make sure I meet up with the target, the timing, and I still had extra time to go through my work. So I took I was conscious of the time and stuff. Then during the exam, I was already used to this. Then the reading part, that was like the most interesting part. Immediately I just went to that part, like, oh, this is the part I've been rehearsing at home. Like, I must not forget the tips I had learned here. So I went to that part. I did then for the listening, I make sure I wrote everything in upper cases as well as reading. I wrote them in upper cases. So at least with this, the examiner can read my words. And for the listening, those parts I didn't understand or I didn't pick up the points that was said, I skipped it and went straight forward to the ones I knew. Then maybe later on I went back to like, okay, let me see if I could see some guess. But I think there was just one or two that I actually did not really remember in the listening. I was so excited that the listening I got 8.5. I was super like, wow, like I wasn't even, when I saw the result, I was like, I didn't see anything like 6 because the second attempt I had 5.5 in reading. I was so like I was not happy at all. And the third one, which I had 7 in reading, 8.5 in listening, and the speaking I had 8. The speaking was actually something that went. One thing I would just advise: just be yourself. Make sure you like be yourself. It's a day-to-day question, so just be yourself. They want to see how you can speak well and stuff. So the speaking to me was okay. And the writing, I'd always known that, okay, these were not the parts I had issues, but the listening and the reading were the areas I was actually having difficulties. And I'm happy I attended Banke's class. It was really helpful. She shared some tips and I used those tips during the exam. And today I got my results. I was super excited to see listening 8.5, reading 7, and the rest, speaking I had 8, then writing 7.5. So I'm so happy I got my desired score. Thank you so much, Banke, for sharing this tip. Despite your busy time, you were willing to share the time with us. I'm super happy. I didn't get to go for the VIP, but for the free class, it was really helpful and I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Awesome. You know, I keep telling students, even in the free classes, people tend to take it lightly because it's free. You know, sometimes we don't pay attention to what's free. But when we pay, we now pay attention. And I always say that I created the 4-week intensive online classes, IELTS online classes with Banke, out of a personal pain that I would not want any other person to experience. I, you know,
Seriously, it's seriously, if you've written the exam more than one time, apart from
yeah.
the financial part of it, like going back to read again, prepare for that exam, it can be draining. I remember the third one I wrote, the invigilator actually, like when she saw me, I was showing her my ID card, she was like, I already know your face. I felt really bad, like, oh, imagine going to the exam hall with that kind of feeling, like, oh, they already know you, you're like a regular customer. But
Mhm.
I'm happy I'm no longer going there again. So I'm super
Exactly.
excited.
And
So
how much have you spent on the examination so far? Taking the examination.
yeah, here in Estonia, it actually costs 205 euros to write one exam. So I wrote it 3 times. That's 615 euros to write it. So I spent 615 euros to write it. And the conversion rate now, I think 1 euro is about 620. So imagine writing it about 120,000 naira.
Imagine, imagine. So I'm so glad for you. I'm so glad for you. I want you to share your quick the important lessons from for the listening. We'll take it one module at a time because
Okay.
there are a number of people out there who have written it a couple of times, and there has been this ongoing news from the grapevine that IELTS deliberately makes people fail. And I
And
I try to debunk that claim as much as possible. This examination is not even about you being smart or being the brightest. It's just you understanding the techniques behind it and taking action with whatever you learn in the free classes. And if you want more personalized attention, of course, people want personalized attention and one has to create time out of one's busy schedule. So let's start
yeah.
from the listening from the
Okay.
online classes with Banke, the classes you joined. What were the major aha moments for you for the listening module?
Okay, for the listening, one thing I learned was first you made mention of using upper cases in writing. So all through I used upper cases. And secondly, you have to be time conscious. Try to like make sure you're answering the question as the audio recording is being played. So don't wait till you can always answer it inside your answer booklet, then transfer it into your main answer. There's always a 10-minute break to transfer it into your main answer. So I did that, and also I make sure that during the practice period, I was aiming at eating during my personal practice period. I make sure I eat like 8 band. I was trying to like make sure that okay, this was this particular score I was getting. So when I get into the exam, I won't be shocked and seeing and I also knew how to calculate the band score. I think this was where I was having issues before. I was taking the wrong figures for listening. So I knew how to calculate know how to calculate your band score. This will help you so you know where you actually stand when you are practicing and what to expect during the exam. I also made note of some key letters like letter R, letter A, and letter T. I noticed when they are in the first 1 to 10, they always make mention of, in some cases, they make mention of the numbers. So I try to like, maybe they are calling a phone number or spelling a particular street. So I try to like try to notice the word letter R when it's being called twice. I try to differentiate the sound. So I listen to different tapes on where they are actually picking out this particular reading out numbers or reading out letters or trying to spell a particular street. So I think that was what helped me in my listening. And for the passage, there was this particular one, the diagram, trying to locate yourself on a map. I actually did rehearsals on that too, but main thing was practice well, know how to calculate the band, know where you're staying when you're doing your rehearsal. So when it's time for the main exam, you won't be shocked at the results you will get. Because my first attempt in listening was 6.5, and the one I got, they had 8.5. So there's actually a very big difference. So from 6.5 to 8.5.
Even jumping from 6.5 to 7 is a main hurdle, is a major hurdle. How much talk of?
Yeah.
6.5 to 8.5, that's 2.0. A whooping 4, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. That's 4. That's a lot. And so this thing is possible. Thank you so much. What materials were you practicing with previously?
Previously I just went online. That is actually important. So I noticed you made mention of practicing with Cambridge. So when I started the IELTS with you, I started practicing with only Cambridge. Before, I would just go online and just type IELTS listening. So anyone that comes up. So later on, after the classes with you, I practiced with only Cambridge IELTS. At least I knew that was the standard to practice with. So I would advise, if you want to practice with Cambridge. These are previous exams that has been conducted by IELTS itself.
Yeah. Now let's quickly go on to the reading module. The reading module, you had a major breakthrough from 5.5.
Yeah, the second attempt, I had 5.5. The first one was 6.5. I dropped in the second one to 5.5. And then the third one, I had 7.0. So there was
5.5 to 7. And those first two attempts were before you joined the IELTS online classes with Banke, right?
Yeah.
So
yes.
What did you do differently for the reading?
For the reading, to be honest, what I did here was I just kind of focused on the area I was having difficulty, which was matching aid, and I was always trying to understand the true, false, and the not given parts. So I try to like understand what they mean by this not given, this part, because sometimes they'll give you this sentence, it's like contrary. It's not really like it wasn't given, but it's like the opposite. So that should be like a false answer. So I try to understand the technique there, how to know when it is true, when it is not given, and when it is actually false. That means not given is we don't even have any information about that in the passage, sorry. Then false is actually contradicting the statement that is in the paragraph. So I try to understand that. Then I remember you shared one particular screenshot of a student a VIP student that motivated me, a VIP student that improved in she did an exercise on the matching aid.
Yeah.
You shared it in the group. So when I saw that, okay, I picked that particular section. So I went through that particular section in like 4 Cambridge previous tests. So I just made focused my practice on the matching aid. I picked the main points, the supporting statement, the supporting sentence, and that I was able to like understand what this paragraph is all about, then give it the right heading. So with that, I was able to get the logic. Then subsequent practice, I was trying to like improve on the timing. Like I had to time myself because it's a timed exam. So I had to like try to get the main sentence and the supporting sentence and be quick about it because I can't spend all the time on just one. So I tried to like understand the main sentence, the supporting sentence, and also time myself to be fast in picking these sentences. And with these, I was able to match the edge because when immediately I got my question booklet, I just went down to the matching edge. Like I've practiced on this one. Let me do this first, and I went back to the other ones later.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm super excited for you, and we'll definitely keep in touch.
Sure.
I'm really excited for you, and thank you for the gift. You know,
You're welcome.
And I'm already receiving Christmas. Jesus was born.
Yeah.
Jesus was born. The wise men, they brought in gifts for him, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And so Ibukonlua is the first person to give me my own gift of gold. So I'm expecting the frankincense and myrrh. Thank you so very much. So
thank you so much. I really want to say thank you for your time. Like it's not, I understand when it comes to like you studying, working, being a mother, and you still have to sacrifice 1 hour or even more than that to give us the free class. So it's worth it. You deserve it. I was actually shy on coming to the VIP section. I was like, maybe I was shy. I didn't want to tell you my weakness. Like, well, I was like, okay, this is the free class. I could at least use it. And because I had just like 2 Saturdays and a week, 2 Saturdays to prepare, because as soon as I saw the result, I wasn't okay with it. I immediately registered for a new one. So I had like 2 weeks to prepare for another class. So I was like, I don't want to go for the VIP. I'll just get the tips from the free class and use it.
You can tell all and sundry that with the free classes, the free classes are enough for you. Can you actually tell people that the free classes is enough for you to run with and get your desired band score across all modules?
Well, I would say it depends on your level of assimilation and how you on your level of boldness. If you feel you actually get, she didn't make I noticed one thing, even despite it was being free, you were open to everyone's question and you answered it to your own capacity. So even in the free class was helpful. If you have the money for the VIP or you think you want a one-on-one, you would do better when you're being coached one-on-one. Please go for it. And if you feel the free one, it's actually you can't afford the VIP and it's the free one, anyone you go for, seriously. I benefited from the free one. I didn't go for the VIP class and I got all those tips from it and it was helpful. So it depends on you. It depends on what you want. If you want to have a one-on-one, there are students that do better when teachers have a special time with them, and there are students that do better in a group. So it depends on your own capacity. But irrespective of whichever module you decide to go for, I'm 100% sure you will learn something from it.
Thank you so much. What's your final words to those who are preparing to take the exams, especially those who may have taken it more than us? Give them the final word, encourage them, and to let them know that
don't give up. Don't give up. I was almost giving up when I saw 5.5 in reading. Like I felt like, wow, you mean I don't know how to read 5.5, but seriously, don't give up. You can do it. And if you need help, ask for help. IELTS, don't underrate IELTS. Yeah, that was what I did in the first attempt. I saw it like, oh, it's just a normal, I've written essays, I've passed my YX, so I should be able to like write. And yes, I got the writing well, but I knew there was another area that I needed to focus, channel my energy to and do well. So don't underestimate it. Be time conscious. Nobody's going to wait for you during the exam. And keep on practicing. Try to like give yourself a target when you're practicing, like this is what I want. This is the band I want to get. I'm telling you, if you practice with that band, you will definitely get it. At the point I was in listening, in my practice, I was not getting nothing less than 8 in all the tests I was doing on my own. And I told myself, if I can practice and get 8, that means I'm not going to go below 8 in listening. So I started practicing, like trying to like go higher, though the practice I did were 8, 8.5. So I knew that, okay, if the matter comes to the worst during the exam scenario, I would still be on the 8.0. And I'm glad I didn't just stay on 8.0, I came out with the 8.5 in listening. So I'm super proud of myself. And for the reading too, yeah, I kept practicing. I believed in myself. I picked all the relevant points. I knew the area I needed to work on, and I worked on it, and I understand it. So just believe in yourself, be time conscious, look for the area that you know. If you've done it before, you know the particular area that you need to pay attention to. And if this is your first time, please don't underestimate it, prepare for it. IELTS money is not a chicken change. You know, it's not easy to like.
It is not at all.
So don't waste your money.
Yes.
Prepare for it.
Prepare for it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So the meeting will now end, and I believe that those who will watch after now will get a thing or two to help them accomplish their desired bank scores across all modules. I am glad that this has taken you a step further towards achieving your goals and fulfilling your dreams. So
yeah,
and congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.
And
Thank
you too.
you for coming on the show.
You're welcome. All right. Bye.